This episode of Nerdist News is sponsored by Nintendo's The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening game. Is Kevin Feige taking over Star Wars? Now that Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has heralded the Marvel Cinematic Universe to becoming the biggest film franchise of all time, it seems like he has his sights on a new project, the second biggest film franchise of all time, aka Star Wars. On Wednesday, The Hollywood Reporter uncovered that the MCU head honcho Kevin Feige had a meeting this summer with Lucasfilm head honcho Kathleen Kennedy and Disney head honchos Alan Horn and Alan Bergman about the possibility of Feige developing a Star Wars film. If true, this is obviously big news, but there is no way the normally tight-lipped House of Mouse would actually respond to these rumors, right? Actually what? They actually said something more than no comment? All right, Chief Creative Officer Alan Horn himself did say in response to this news, "We are excited about the projects Kathy and the Lucasfilm team are working on, not only in terms of Star Wars, but also Indiana Jones and reaching into other parts of the company." He went on to say, with the close of the Skywalker saga, Kathy is pursuing a new era in Star Wars storytelling, and knowing what a die-hard fan Kevin is, it made sense for these two extraordinary producers to work on a Star Wars film together. Holy hell, it is true! Wow! Now, this basically means one of two things: that Feige is indeed a super fan and is using his incredible track record with the MCU to cash a blank check and work for a franchise he's always wanted to, or something much, much bigger is afoot. Many Hollywood insiders and fans now suspect that Feige is being set up to take a larger role in Lucasfilm in addition to his job at the top of Marvel Studios. Could this be true? Could Feige be taking over Star Wars?
There's a chance.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance.
Well, let's break down the facts. While Star Wars came roaring out of the gate in 2015 with The Force Awakens, its first live-action film since 2005, there has been a bit of drama behind the scenes for the franchise. Extensive reshoots on Rogue One, the Boba Fett spin-off film getting canceled right before it was announced, and the public firings of directors Colin Trevorrow as well as Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Couple all that with the mixed reaction for The Last Jedi and the box office receipts that were so low for Han Solo's solo movie Solo, and some might see Feige adding a steadying hand to the Lucasfilm ship as a move to right things that have gone awry. But let's look at the other side of the argument, that this is just Feige fulfilling a childhood dream. Despite some of the public behind-the-scenes drama, Star Wars is in no way such a bad place that it needs course correction. Even the MCU had its fair share of missteps at the beginning. Also, Star Wars box office is nothing to sneeze at. Though Solo underperformed, 3 of the 4 Lucasfilm movies released since Disney purchased it have made over $1 billion at the box office. Plus, The Force Awakens still holds the record for domestic box office pull at around $930 million to Avengers Endgame's $858 million in the United States. So honestly, we could see either side of the argument happening. With the Skywalker saga coming to an end in this December's The Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars seems to be taking a breather before their next big film outings in a couple years, with the trilogies being developed by Game of Thrones' Benioff and Weiss and The Last Jedi's Rian Johnson, which we will note seems to be the same move that the Avengers seem to be doing now that the Infinity Saga has come to its memorable end. If there is a time for him to start making his move, now would be it. From a corporate synergy perspective, it seems like the argument for Feige taking over is to give Star Wars the Marvel approach. Marvel movies built up to the point where we now get multiple Marvel films a year, and we love it. A big corporation like Disney wouldn't be against another of their big investments being able to do the same thing. And while it didn't work out the gate with Han Solo's solo movie, Solo being released so close to The Last Jedi, Kevin Feige might have the magic touch to make it work. But if Feige was to slowly take over Star Wars, what does that mean for Marvel? Would he run both, or would he be more big picture while another person or group came in to handle things? If we had to wager, it seems like the Russo brothers would be perfect for that role if they were interested. They've worked very closely with Marvel for many years now and definitely have earned fan trust with their Marvel outings. However, we can't see Feige stepping away from Marvel right now. He's got his hands full, especially now that he has a bunch of Marvel series for Disney Plus on his plate. And while Marvel has been a steady ship so far, and as much as we love Feige and what he did for it, having him take over Lucasfilm in addition to Marvel isn't necessarily the answer. We want different series to have different voices and try different things. We don't want Star Wars to be Marvel-fied the same way we don't want DC to be Marvel-fied. We like the things we like because we like them, not because they remind us of another franchise. Plus, this would be the biggest FU to Kathleen Kennedy. So there's that. But if this statement is to be taken at face value and it's just Feige working on a Star Wars movie with Lucasfilm instead of taking Lucasfilm over, then this is something fans should welcome. With Feige's established track record with developing stories and with him being a Star Wars superfan, seeing him craft a movie in the franchise he loves would be pretty interesting. This, of course, all leads to the biggest question of all. Now that Disney owns Fox, will Feige take over the Avatar universe? Guys, we're kidding. We're kidding. Or are we?
There's a chance.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance.
But what do you folks think? Do you want to see Kevin Feige make a Star Wars film? Or do you want to see Kevin Feige make all of the Star Wars films? And does this mean Darth Vader is going to be the next big bad in the MCU? Let's discuss. Thanks again to Nintendo's The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening game for sponsoring today's episode. Prepare to embark on an exciting adventure after Link has been washed ashore on the reimagined Koholint Island. To find his way home, Link must use all of his skills and weapons as he fights his way past moblins, Octoroks, and even Goombas. Relive the classic story on the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Lite systems, available now.